That is actually a pavilion that I asked François Roche, a friend of mine, to realize to welcome the film that I've done in Antarctica and in Central Park. François did a very nice work. What he did was he cut out the floor of the museum again. He talked with the local language. He cut the floor of the museum, like with cycle, and then he takes some lines and he pull up the floor of the museum, right? And then there's another line to a counterweight, and this counterweight I made with ice. If obviously the ice melt, the whole pavilion disappears. So he is also trying to find a topological system rather than a representation. He tried to find an equivalence. I mean, he is obviously obsessed by the fold of Deleuze, as we are all. We can pass to a fully different world, a fully different project. I still have how many?
Maybe
10 minutes? 5? 6? This is the last. I mean, there's that and Harvard. Should I go very fast to that? I can go very fast.
Choose one.
Or I can just go like that. I was invited in a museum to do a show, and I decided not to do a show in the museum, but I decided to do something in a new town who was being built in the north of New York. So when I arrived, that is the when they show you which house you want to buy. In the next image is the site. What I basically, this is actually one of the projects I'm very interested in, and I'm still working on this kind of line today. But basically, I invent a custom for a new town. Obviously, what I, Right, a custom, a ritual. So of course, within the calendar, it's a new Halloween. I'm just entering within the calendar. It's a new, again, it's people coming from different direction, different town, different situation, and they gather like in an instant, as in the US, they go like that. So I'm trying to find something in a certain way. I'm trying to find within the situation to intensify the coefficient of fiction or coefficient of I will say fiction contained within the situation and increase it. So it's not something that I bring. I don't say, we're going to celebrate me, or we're going to celebrate Satsfei. We're going to celebrate your condition, your situation, and that will be repeated years by years, not as a monument. I mean, we can, not as a monument, because Halloween is a monument, is a temporal monument that we all need to get rid of. But here was like we were celebrating the change, and we were celebrating present. So it has to be renegotiated each year. But I'm very interested to say, how can you produce something, a score, and how an event can happen, and how this event can become organic, how he can live his life without even me being even there, and I don't even know if they still celebrate them, and I kind of don't care, you know what I mean? He have his entropy, his own entropy. Saying this word, entropy, definitely when I done this work, I thought about Smithson, but in a more temporal way, right? At the scale of a town. So we can pass the different images. That is part of the film, because of course by creating this real estate, they remove another kind of habitant, and the film is a kind of tale about that. We can just keep going. So now it's the parade in the town. There's this little, it's one day. It starts in the morning and it's go until the end of the day. You have some cardboard man. This guy is a cardboard man, so it's the box, the traveling box. In front of this truck, we don't see, but there's like the fire truck, the policeman, the school bus, all the city classic services cars are just passing. It's a very the next images now they're all celebrating. We have cakes. We have the mayor of the town who did a talk of introduction. We can pass to the other. There's a concert. There's even like the tree and the box dancing and this all, and the police is putting the light on that. Of course, there's this very blank sign. The next one is the end of the day. They all go back home. I'm very interested into these works. I mean, it's too short to talk about, but actually, the future will be very, very probably in this direction. Really trying to structure rituals. And I'm going to say this sentence that I like to say about Levi Strauss, saying like how ritual is a transformation of event into structure, and how games is the reverse. It's transformation of structure into events, and actually this work is really working within this how you put something under transforming structure into events is really the core, how you play something, how you open something. And then we can pass to the other works. And that is the presentation at the DIA, the walls are moving. We can just pass that. And that is another proposition by the crazy François Roche for a community center within this new town, which we'll never realize because it was complex to do. And that is many artists I asked to do proposal for new celebration, what we should celebrate. That's Lorenz Wiener, and that's Recreative Vanija. And that's maybe we can end up with that. I'm also going to go fast. Same problem, same situation. I'm invited in a place. This is where Yvalin used to, not inside that, but this is the campus of Harvard. And this is the only Le Corbusier building in the US, made in 62, I think, around 62. Or start or finish in 62? Finished in 62. Obviously, Le Corbusier, regret not to have done the UN, right? And was really kind of upset. But he was working on Chandigarh, so it was another scale. Still, he tried to put too much in this building in a certain way. This is a very interesting building because it's in a certain way a kind of collage of Le Corbusier work, really trying to put everything he have said within one little building, which is an art department. Sorry, it's not an art center, but also there's a little art center within it, right? A little art center. It's mainly the art department, and there's a little gallery, let's say. So basically, one day someone say, "Hey, you French, you might be interested about doing Le Corbusier." Yes, I like Le Corbusier. You want to come and do something on this building? And I say, yes, of course, I will be interested to do something in there will be a kind of semi-permanent 6 months or for a while. Then again, I didn't know what to do, and it was very problematic for me to find a solution. Then probably some tension arrived, and a lot of expectation from the university. I meet a lot of people, department, and they all say, look over there. And I say, I'm not an historian, I'm just an artist, and then so after a while, I decided simply there was different letters, different moment of tension, and then I realized that it was the same for Le Corbusier when he actually done his building in Harvard, in the campus, which was also a display of work. Rather than to do a sculpture, a painting, or photo as they have in this department, I decided to do an event again in the form of a spectacle, as I did in the different works that you show early on. And I decided to use, so we can see the next image. I decided to use, to in a certain way physically extend the building of Le Corbusier. And I asked Michael Meredith, an architect who was working, was a teacher at the time in Harvard, to help me on that. And we both together built a theater. It's a theater for a puppet play, but it's also, you can read it also as a physical extension of a classroom, where it's not anymore teaching. We're not anymore teaching sculpture or painting or photo. We are teaching something else, which is more an event, a situation.